You guys really seem to enjoy my video talking about why Funko won't make these specific action figures, where I talked about how Funko refuses to do specific characters from specific entries in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise because they deem them too scary and shenanigans like that. So I'm hitting you with a sequel. Yes, we're making a sequel to that video where we're going to be diving into my comment section and seeing the figures that you guys want to see enter the articulated Five Nights at Freddy's toy line. Give me bread, rights. I would like some more Security Breach figures. Like another wave of Security Breach, which is never going to happen, but still, I would like to see Moon, Sun, Burn Trap, and even the Shattered animatronics. I would love for Funko to make Burn Trap and the Shattered animatronics. I would pray that eventually they would make these characters. Like, it's so cool. It's easy to make, too. Just take your existing Glamrock sculpts, break them down a bit, add some wires, maybe a few new molds, and we got ourselves some Shattered animatronics. And as for Sun and Moon, I'm pretty certain that Funko will eventually make these figures. Because Sun and Moon were so popular, and they're bright and colorful enough, that Funko would just be missing out on a huge money-making opportunity if they didn't make them. Core the Dumbo Rice, I'd love a figure of Happy Frog, or maybe even Mr. Hippo, even Netbear, or any of the other FNAF 6 characters they skipped, especially Molten Freddy. And of course, I'd love a Nightmare and Nightmare Fredbear. I feel like if they wanted to do Nightmare and Nightmare Fredbear, they would have done them already. But I am along with Core the Dumbo. Please give us Nightmare and Nightmare Fredbear. I promise you, Funko, they would sell. I'm not lying to you. Coming from a person that consumes every piece of Five Nights at Freddy's merch you come out with, they would sell. And I would love to see the mediocre melodies. I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get Happy Frog or Mr. Hippo or Ned Bear because I liked the mediocre melodies. I thought they were funny, quirky characters, and I would have loved to see them in the toy line. However, they did half of the characters in FNAF 6 and just never went back to it. And I could tell you exactly what was included in Funko's Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Sim articulated figures line. Rockstar Freddy, Rockstar Foxy, El Chip, Orville the Elephant, and Pig Patch. If you took a trip down to Walmart, there's a chance you could have gotten a Walmart exclusive Lefty. And if you got all the figures, you could build yourself a Freak Show / Scrap Baby. So pretty cool. It's a solid lineup, a lot of awesome characters. However, that's only scratching the surface. We're still missing Rockstar Bonnie, Rockstar Chica, Scrap Trap, Molten Freddy, Happy Frog, Mr. Hippo, and Ned Bear. Hey, if they were to make a second wave, bring back the Build-A-Figures. Give us a Music Man Build-A-Figure. And for exclusives, give Hot Topic a Security Puppet figure. We got Rare Wubbox MSM saying, I think I kind of want to see an Into the Pit Spring Bonnie. This is something I've been talking about for a while. How I wanted Funko to make some book stuff, specifically for Fazbear Frights. as they've done book stuff in the past. I mean, we got a whole wave, wasn't a very good wave, but we did get a wave of the Twisted One stuff, which came from the original book trilogy. So why can't we have Fazbear Frights figures? I think personally that Into the Pit Spring Bonnie would be horrifying. He'd be very cool. Now granted, obviously they probably won't do Into the Pit Spring Bonnie because he's horrifying, but he's one of the most imposing versions of Spring Bonnie, and I think it would be so cool to see a version of that character in figure form. I know Funko probably won't ever do this, but it's still an exciting concept to imagine. I mean, any of the characters from the Fazbear Fright series would be awesome. That series is full of so many frightening and unique creatures and monsters that Funko would just be missing out if they didn't at least do one set of these. That's all I'm asking Funko. One solid set of Fazbear Fright figures and maybe some Funko Pops. Like, there's so many unique monsters to choose from, like Spring Bonnie. We got Sonya Beetle. I would like to see the Blob. As would I. I feel like I'm just here stating that Funko won't ever do a specific project. I would like to see the Blob. I would. But I feel like the Blob is too much of an elaborate character that Funko just wouldn't want to tackle. And I don't want to be the guy that says that, but it's true. Funko probably won't do the Blob. Even though it's a cool character, they could probably pack into a set as like a Build-A-Figure because of how big he is. So yeah, I would like to see the Blob. However, again, I have to be that guy that says that Funko probably won't do it. Mainly because he's so detailed. He's a big character, so they'd have to make him a Build-A-Figure. And they just wouldn't do him. And I like the Blob. I mean, we don't see much of him, but he's a cool and mysterious character, and was pretty scary when he was introduced. I'd like to think, though, that if Funko did make the Blob, they'd have to make him on a bigger scale, so he'd probably be a Build-A-Figure, or boxed as like a deluxe or something. And I'd love to see the way they would tackle all that integral cable and wire work, because the Blob is essentially just this mass of black cables with animatronics kind of shoved in there, and then has the head of Funtime Freddy. But I would love to see the way Funko would handle such an intricate and detailed character. As for articulation, he probably wouldn't be super articulated. There'd probably be a ball joint at the base of the mass of wires and cables. Then there'd be one sort of in the middle to kind of move it around, and then one kind of like at the top, and then I feel like the neck would be on like 3 separate joints, so you can kind of get a nice range of movement for the head. I feel like that would be what they would do if they didn't just straight up opt for like a just kind of static figure. Oh my gosh, I found a fellow Mangle figure stand. Bunny Girl 195 Stone says, Mangle. She wants to see Mangle. I've been craving, hoping, salivating at my fangs for Funko to heed this and to make a figure. And then I got evidence that other people wanted as well. It's just the most assurance that I've ever had. It's more than most people get in a lifetime, but there are other people who want Mangle as well. So Mangle, Funko, we need a Mangle figure, not just a mystery mini, a figure. But with that being said, I think that's all the time we have for. This actually opened my eyes up to a lot of different characters I hadn't even considered that Funko could make. Now, granted, there was a lot of people who recommended stuff I already knew people wanted, so I didn't include stuff from FNAF 2, FNAF 3, and stuff like that, because I already know that you guys want to see that. Because I also want those figures. But let me know what you guys thought about tonight's video in the comments below, and let me know some of the other characters you'd love to see show up in a future wave of the Five Nights at Freddy's articulated figures line. With that being said, do take care, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.